Strategies podcast with our host, Alan Porter. Alan, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, it's a beautiful day out here in North Carolina, a little cool, but hopefully we've been playing golf later on this afternoon and watching the Masters this weekend.
All right. This topic today, when I heard about it, I said, oh my, here we go. Let's just, Alan, when we're talking financial guys, Alan's the man. And today's topic is, Alan, what do you think about Trump's tariffs? Give me the pros and cons.
All right.
Pros, first of all, of Trump's tariffs.
Okay. First of all, I just want everybody, don't panic. That's you don't lose anything until you sell. But here's some pros of Trump's tariff. Production of domestic industries, which is absolutely huge. We've been ripped off for so many years. Like Canada, I believe, had 210 or 50% tariff on our dairy products. Tariffs are designed to shield U.S. manufacturers from foreign competition, potentially fostering growth in domestic sectors. For instance, companies like Raytheon, sales are over 4.5% every year due to policies favor domestic production. We have the enhanced trade negotiation leverage. When Trump said he was putting a 100% tariff on everybody or whatever it was, it's amazing. What do we have? 50 to 70 industrialized countries. They're going to Trump to work out a deal. Now, China's resisting, but they're the lone bird out there, and they're going to find out. But we're in a very strong position because, number one, people rely on us for defense. And we're the largest market in the world anyway. But reduction in trade deficits by making imports more expensive, tariffs can decrease the trade deficit. And even recent data indicates a slight narrowing of the U.S. trade deficit with many of the imposing tariffs on certain goods. We've been losing our behind for years. Encouragement of a domestic investment. Higher cost of imported goods can incentivize, I can't even talk this morning, companies to invest in U.S. production facilities, aiming to mitigate tariff expenses. And the big thing is national security considerations. Tariffs on specific goods, such as those used in technology and defense sectors, are intended to bolster national security by reducing reliance on foreign suppliers. This is without a doubt one of the top ones.
Alan, when we got to go through all those, these are things that are good things about tariffs. They want to go back to historically with tariffs and different things. But we needed to do this. We were relying too much on global markets and allowing U.S.-based companies to really make money all over the world without paying their fair share.
Exactly right.
All right. The cons of the Trump's tariffs.
Some of the things I've seen, of course, we have stock market volatility. The announcement and implementation of tariffs have led to significant market fluctuation. For example, April 3rd, 2025, the S&P experienced a 6.65% drop, nearly triggering a trading curve following the new tariff announcements. But we're not even close to a crash yet. We're at the same spot we were on, I believe, May 24th, 2024. You can check that out in Wikipedia. But erosion of the portfolio values, this is what kills me. Everybody's screaming about, I lost this, I lost that. You haven't lost anything until you cash that money out. It's amazing. They're saying, oh, I've lost all this money. People don't ever, in their 401k especially, they never say anything about the fees that are going to reduce their portfolio by 1/3 to 1/2 by the time they go to retire to these fee-based advisors on Wall Street. Why don't they say something about that? You think about that. 1/3 to 1/2 of your money is going to be lost to fees. And that's whether you, the client, make money or not. And if they're really worried about losing the money, cash out, and if you get close to retirement, you're right there in a spot for sequence returns risk. But, we haven't lost that much yet. But as an example, and I've said this many times before, Neil, you got $1 million in a stock portfolio and a 4% distribution rate. That's $40,000 a year. That's not guaranteed. Take $650,000 out of that stock portfolio and buy this fixed indexed annuity, $650, basically 2/3. And that will give you the same $40,000 a year guaranteed for the rest of your life. And that's up to age 120, not for 30 years like what most financial planners do. I plan mine to all go to 120, and it can be used for both the husband and the spouse. It's only 0.5% less because they're insuring 2 lives. And even if that accumulation value runs out, you're still guaranteed an income for the rest of your life. And while the accumulation value is intact, whenever the indexing strategy goes up, you get an increase in income and it's locked in. We never lose money due to a market downturn when you have properly constructed fixed and fixed index annuities and cash value life insurance.
And your financial advisors don't tell you that, right?
No.
Start playing conservative to the end.
And I ask people, why hasn't your financial advisor ever told you about sequence return risk? And I look at them, I wait for their answer, and all of a sudden they're paid a fee on the complete value of my policy. Yeah, they sure are. They don't want you to get rid of that money at all.
And there's just a lot of any other cons you're seeing, Alan?
Yeah, retaliatory tariffs impacting U.S. exports. China's doing this right now. That's to be expected. But they can have these retaliatory exports, and they're not going to sell anything in the United States. They're already well over leveraged on tariffs against the United States. We've been putting up with this for really too long. Now, we have increased consumer prices, but people need to understand the consumer price index went down 1%, or 0.1% last month. And inflation is down to 2.4, 2.6%. It's been a long time since it's been that way. Now, other thing, fuel is becoming less expensive. That triggers inflation right there. The number one trigger of inflation is fuel. Because when fuel costs more, everything costs more. And here's the other thing, which I don't understand, what people don't understand. With his policies and his negotiations, they're adding, between the domestic and foreign companies, adding $7 trillion back to the U.S. economy to build new businesses, so the United States become the number one industrial nation in the world as it was before. And it just makes sense. But people just don't understand this. All they see is the market going down and Trump's bad this, Trump's bad that. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. And I think that's what we need to do to have a businessman to fix the country.
Exactly. And we're just going to find out, Alan. This is the big thing. We're going to find out what happens. And he made changes. He knew that we need to negotiate. They all came to the table and he knew he couldn't get them all to negotiate. He probably thought none of them were going to negotiate. They were going to at least hold out for a month like the EU, but everyone wanted to negotiate. So if they wanted to negotiate, then that's why he paused the tariffs. And
it's 2 days to come back to the negotiation table?
Yeah, that's it. So that's the difference, that Trump doesn't care about the Republican Party. This is the difference. Trump is playing lame duck, even though he doesn't care if he's lame duck. He doesn't have to answer to the Republican Party. At the end of the day, he has his own brand. And he's, you know what? I could care less if a Republican gets elected in 4 years. That's going to hurt the Republican Party, but it's not going to hurt Donald Trump. And yeah.
But think about this. Would you rather have the Republican Party we have now, or think about what would have happened if Kamala Harris had came in?
Oh, 100%. That's the thing. But what I'm saying is, he isn't party line. He's Trump line. And he wants what's best for the country. He's not playing politics.
That's it. You hit it on the head there.
He's not playing politics. He wants what's best for the country, even if there's going to be blowback and you're going to see the Democrats in control. But who knows? He might see other people wouldn't. So let me give you an example. Even President Reagan, I don't think, would have thrown the whole Republican Party under the bus. He did certain things, but he is an innovator that's, you know what? I'm going to prove all politicians wrong. Show that you need to be strong. You need to take chances. You need to risk things to be successful. Run the government like you run a business. A business has risks. A business does not have guarantees. They're used to running the government where guarantees all the time and just running up debt with no consequences. So that's the thought. But Alan, I don't know why any of the Republicans have said anything, because they're afraid of Trump. That the truth is, it's going to hurt the party long term unless he does something what he says. If everyone negotiates, we get zero trade for everybody, right? All the tariffs leave. And China finally gives in. and there's a deal and the economy thrives before the 2 years are up, before the midterms, you could see a change, and that the MAGA Republican Party might be the only party that would get elected as Republicans. That is historically where, as I look at things, he has a chance to change the way politics are run forever, if he succeeds.
That's absolutely right, Neil. But basically, in closing, I want people to understand there's 4 things that we must lead in. Number 1, AI. Number 2, energy. Number 3, national defense. And number 4, precious metals and the minerals. Because with those, we're on the path of achieving all these goals right now. And that's going to make us as the world leader in every facet of business, production, industry, everything around the world. We're going to be number 1 again.
And that AI battle is going to be a huge battle. It's unreal what AI can do now.
I know.
And the things I'm doing now, the AI is unstoppable to the level that people can't imagine. And I'm working with a really big AI guy that was in The Mentalist, Owen Yeoman, regarding a tutoring company. But really, there's some really big things coming, and you just got to be ready. And if we reduced our risk, we did not allow technology to develop in the United States involving AI during the Biden administration. We slowed down and China got ahead and caught up. Now the restrictions are less. And that means, guess what? Everyone needs to get hold of AI, and it's the .com on steroids. All right. Best place to contact Alan is go to 910-551-1046 or go to strategicwealthstrategies.com. or email you at strategicwealth0@gmail.com. Thanks again, Alan.
Please give me a call because I do not charge my consultations. It's all about education.
All right. That was the Strategic Wealth Strategies podcast, guys. Take care.